the best Cal U football games I think I've ever been a part of in my entire 4+ year career at the university. A night game at Livingston Stadium, there's nothing better than that. The whole stands were packed for that one. Everybody wanted to see a top 10 upset at that time, one of the biggest, if not the biggest upset at home in Cal U football history. And no less, it was a rival in IUP. It doesn't get much better than that, but the real thing that was the best part about it was being there and actually being in the outside radio booth, not inside, because it was a nice October evening for that. And the Lamont McFadder 100-yard interception return for a touchdown, I thought the stands were going to collapse. That's how loud it was in there. People were jumping, shaking, rattling around. It was some loud, crazy times there. And I'll tell you what, just being out amongst the crowd to enjoy it was one of my favorite parts of that day itself.
Williams gets the give, actually keeps it himself. He's a second leading rusher on this IUP team for a reason. Crosses the 30-yard line. He's going to be tripped up at around the 29. So that's chunky yards picked up by the quarterback.
Yeah, they've been giving it inside give. And what does Lenny Williams do? Keeps the ball himself. And there, big rushing game. California, in the years past, the years that we've been here, Danny, they've struggled against rushing quarterbacks. And now you're facing the best, maybe in the entire country, in Lenny Williams.
Racked up 213 yards coming into this game, 2 touchdowns on the ground. Williams throws the ball over to the left side this time and brought in. Huge grab by number 15, Ricky Rogers.
Ricky Rogers, a big play there by him, going up and making that catch. He's a graduate transfer there from Gateway High School here in our neck of the woods, close to it, and he just goes up right over Edwards and makes a catch. We saw this against Ohio Dominican. Ohio Dominican went after that one-on-one matchup, and IUP's doing it again here in this one.
And IUP had a 4-inch reach advantage on that one, and it looks like this one will be a touchdown for the Crimson Hawks to open this game on the ground. Three minutes left in this first quarter of play. Bullock will get the football yet again, right up the middle of that interior of California's defense. About a gain of 3 on the play.
And that's one of his shortest rushes of the game so far. Again, averaging 6 yards a carry. And Brendan Edwards and Blair in there making the tackle. And Blair at the bottom of the pile there. Edwards coming in late. So for California now, you're going to have to hold this IUP team to a field goal here on this drive.
2 minutes and 30 seconds now. IUP has had the football for a majority of this first quarter of play. Lenny Williams has had the football in his hand for a majority of this drive as he pushes forward for another first down. Now it's going to be first and goal from the 3-yard line.
Yeah, it looked like California had him in the backfield again, but you can't arm tackle there as he's just too quick, eludes the defender, runs right up the middle. And again, there is number 55, Gerald Brown, who's made a couple plays all over the field so far, and there he saves a touchdown from happening there.
California's defense now in the spotlight as Lenny Williams gets into the end zone. Second rushing touchdown for the Crimson Hawks. And California is down now 13-0 pending this extra point.
Started off a little bit shaky, though. The offense kind of scared me coming out of the gate, but Noah Mitchell really took control of that and had one of his best highlight plays of trucking over a guy, which is still, to this day, one of my favorite football plays that I've seen in person. And they got control of it. They held the ball well. They kept them off the ball in the offensive end because they were an explosive team that year, as they are every year. And Lenny Williams is always a tough guy to stop, and they did a good job of that.
Haven't seen his arm here tonight. Another display over to the left side. Tyson Hill brings the football in, staying on his feet to the 5-yard line, just like that. Mentioned haven't seen him already. Right there, there's a glimpse of it.
And Noah Mitchell with his first dilly dime of the game. This is a beautiful throw right on cue from Mr. Danny Beck as he gets the ball, airs it out to Tyson Hill. Tyson Hill goes up, makes a big catch, and now we mentioned that jolt of energy California needed. They have it here.
Big first play. Their second possession of the football game, going 3 and out on their first. Mitchell still in that shotgun set. He's going to give the ball over to Nelson Brown. Brown met a brick wall right at the line of scrimmage. About a gain of 1 on the play. But there's the jolt, Dylan. That is what they needed for this California offense to get started.
That he has. And with Nelson Brown there trying to get into the end zone. He's been their goal line threat as he sits third in the country with 8 rushing touchdowns so far and is leading the PSAC. So that is definitely California's weapon come this part of the field.
Nelson Brown gets the give yet again right up the middle of the field and gets into the end zone for a touchdown for the Vulcans.
Nelson Brown with a big touchdown rush in for the Vulcans, and California now cuts this lead to within 1. Beautiful executed drive, quick drive for the Vulcans, gets capped off there by a Nelson Brown run right up the middle. That is 7 touchdowns now for Brown.
Yeah, the brow is not there on the field for IUP. Mitchell looking to throw, wide open Tyson Hill on the right side of the field, and he will bring this ball in. Another first down, another throw down the field for Noah Mitchell.
Tyson Hill again making plays, as last year he just had 8 catches all year, but in the IUP game he had 4. And he stepped up in a big way last week and doing the same here in this one. So Tyson Hill clearly the guy to step up, take over that role there from Jordan Dandridge.
Yeah, and that big play potential that Jordan Dandridge had. You know, Tyson Hill's filling in nicely already through the first quarter and a little bit into the second. Now Chad Livingston and Tyson Hill spread out wide for this California offense. Mitchell looks over in the area of Tyson Hill. Hill wide open yet again, gets his feet down. Another first down picked up from California. A little bit of a little stutter step allowed him to get away from his marker on the play.
And if you saw the official's hat off, is because he got pushed out of bounds. A double move. The corner pushes him out of bounds, but Tyson Hill gets back in bounds, establishes himself in bounds, and makes the play. Tyson Hill, excellent double move. He was able to beat Davis there on the outside for IUP.
Continue to move this ball down the field. Getting that progress for California, that's very important. Now with 10 minutes and 11 seconds left to go before halftime. Working at this lead as Nelson Brown gets the football from Noah Mitchell, spun around and thrown down right at the line of scrimmage, so nothing doing on the run.
Jan Coleman Jr. there comes in late to finish off that tackle there from IUP, but it's the big boys up front again. Just Nelson Brown nowhere to go. He breaks that initial tackle, but actually he hangs on, does Jan Coleman. So Coleman off the edge, getting that tackle from the strong safety position. Big there, and California unable to get rushing yards here on first down so far, so they're going to have to keep going to the air and trying to get some of these short yardage plays on first down.
Second down and 10, ball on the 32-yard line. Flags come out yet again from that near sideline. Looks like a false start signaled from the official, and it will be a false start. So moving backwards, I was going to bring up a 2nd and 15. Head coach Gary Dunn not too happy with all these penalties, obviously for a reason, for this California team. 4th
penalty so far for California, 40 yards in penalty yardage, so that's only in the first half of play.
Mitchell looking to throw, little halfback screen right up the middle. Nelson Brown staying on his feet, being pushed forward from those big offensive linemen. Erase that penalty and more, bring up a 3rd down now.
It's Tillman on the inside there, helped bring down Brown, and we mentioned Brown unable to get anything going on the ground, so now they try to get him the ball through the air, and he picks up a nice play here right up the middle, but he is stopped there. It's going to be a 3rd down and short. Now, what can Noah Mitchell do? Is he going to go back to Tyson Hill? Or, like you mentioned earlier, Chad Livingston. Does Chad Livingston start to get involved here in this offense?
Chad Livingston spread out on the near side, 3 wide receivers to the left. 1 safety drops back in coverage. Nelson Brown gets the give right up the middle of the field, staying on his feet, gets past the first down marker to the 10-yard line. Positive yards picked up by Nelson Brown on the ground.
Here, IUP running with 2 safety look, and they were thinking that the rush was coming, with the pass was coming. What does California do? Goes against convention there, runs right up the middle there with Nelson Brown. If it wasn't for Davis there making that stop, it could have been Nelson Brown in for 6 points for the Vulcans.
A little shoestring stop on the play. So now Mitchell looks back over to the sideline. 8:10 left before halftime. California's still down 14-7.
Now in the red zone, you look for California to get Brown, continuing to get him involved in the offense. It's been a key part of this drive.
Brown, actually Mitchell keeps the football. Mitchell looking to run. A little awkward slide from him, trying to find some space on the left side, but could not.
As Damon Lloyd was chasing down the freshman quarterback here on this play. It's a play action as Mitchell looked to pass and ends up having to keep it himself. And Damon Lloyd, nice diving stop there to get that tackle on Mitchell.
2nd and 7, so only 3 yards picked up by the freshman quarterback on the ground. 7:30 and ticking. Ten seconds left on the play clock. Gets the play away to Nelson Brown. Brown met the strong defense, the defensive line for the Crimson Hawks. Gobbled him up at the line of scrimmage.
And that was Mitchell there on the inside. 6'5", 310, the redshirt freshman from Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. Susquehanna Township there. That's your neck of the woods, Danny, making a big play.
It most certainly is. And 3rd and goal from the 8. 6 minutes and 55 seconds left before halftime. Mitchell, 3-man spread out to the wide to the right. Looking over there. Throw in the area of Tyson Hill just over the head. Great grab from a spectator there on the sidelines at the top of the screen.
That was a great grab, but that's one California. That's a drive they wish they had back there. Had the rhythm going. You want to get 6 points up on the board, but they're going to have to settle for a field goal. And Mitchell just leads Hill too far to the outside. And, wow, shout out to whoever made that catch. You mentioned it, Danny. Nice grab there on the outside. He just stuck his hands right out and made the catch. They said nonchalant, no big deal.
Yeah, let's sign him up for the Vulcans team. It looks like he's cheering on the Crimson Hawks, but we'll just ignore that. And now setting up for the field goal attempt, Brian Alsobrooks, the hold from Chad Livingston. Kick is up and good, so California travels down the field, going to get into the end zone, but the score is now 14-10 at the 10th annual Cold Bowl from Adamson Stadium. And Lenny Williams Jr. got that ball wrapped up just a little bit prematurely. A little bit of a mishandle right off the bat.
And Brendan Blair with another nice tackle. And something we just found out here at halftime, and we didn't really notice it. He actually played high school football there at Stowe Rocks High School with Lenny Williams. So their rivalry runs deep. And, playing against an old former teammate, you want to get the upper hand.
And Brendan Blair actually was the one who took out Lenny Williams last time the Cold Bowl was here at Adamson Stadium. So a little bit of familiarity as Lenny Williams goes over the middle of the field, throws it to the arms of Brendan Blair just like that as he goes across the 45-yard line, staying on his feet, stiff arms one guy, gets across the 50-yard line, and Dylan looking into a crystal ball as we were just talking about the connection between Williams and Brendan Blair.
Yeah, that's going to be bittersweet for him right there, and some Stowe Rocks alum connecting here on this one as Lenny Williams passes it to his former teammate, but now on the opposing team is Brendan Blair. Brendan Blair, you don't really see him covering that far downfield, but he gets the interception. It's a nice return as well. California now set up in IUP territory, and you see him on the sideline right now. Brendan Blair, he is excited. He's able to get a big play for this defense. And California's offense now a little momentum on the side of the Vulcans.
And if it wasn't Brendan Blair on that play, it could have been Lamont McFadder as well in the area of the throw from Lenny Williams. So now Mitchell right at midfield gets another shot with his offense, and Nelson Brown picks up a gain of 6 on the play. So great chunk of yards on the first down play.
Yeah, that is a great chunk of yards. One of his longest rushes of the day, even right up the middle as Esterling was in there able to make the stop for IUP.
Now 2nd down and 5, so we're getting the 5 on the play. 42-yard line is where the ball sits. IUP showing blitz.
Yeah, they're coming with the heat here. See if California switches up to maybe a draw screenplay here or maybe a quick pass. It looks like IUP may be calling off the heat now as they jump back. So a little bit of chess being played out there on the field.
Mitchell keeps it himself, looking up the field, gets across the 35, puts his shoulder down, bowls over a linebacker, and that's Mike Petropola on the play. He's actually lined up as a defensive back, but lined right into his shoulder, running over Petropola.
And the sideline gets excited. Noah Mitchell, not the bulkiest guy in the world, but he lowers the shoulder right here on an old quarterback himself there, and Petropola runs him over and picks up a first down. That's how you get your teammates excited. That's how you get the trust of your teammates.
What a big play and big drive this is for California, as they have another opportunity, as now in the area of Chad Livingston tips the ball up to himself, gets the ball into his hands at the 5-yard line, ignites the crowd here at Adamson Stadium.
And Chad Livingston was draped in coverage there by J.R. Stevens, and he goes up with one hand and snags it and brings it down with his right hand. We saw a nice catch earlier by another California receiver, and there Chad Livingston comes up with a big one. So receivers making plays for their freshman quarterback.
Just an all-around athlete is Chad Livingston. We saw him actually practicing punting the football as some flags come in, but Dylan and I were watching in pregame. Chad Livingston, he has a leg too. He can punt the ball away for California.
He's a very athletic player as well. He's a high jump champion in high school. That's going to be a snap infraction against California here. That's going to set them back now, first and goal outside the 10. But Chad Livingston, definitely one of the most athletic players out there on the field for California. We saw him when he played for LH a couple years ago on our CUTV high school roundup, and now you're seeing him make plays as a Vulcan. So it's cool when Coach Dillon's able to get these whippeal talents to come play for him here at Cal U.
Along with fellow teammate Jimmy Pierce, who ranks among the top 3 on the Vulcans in tackles on the defensive side of the football. Now Noah Mitchell drops back to throw. Low pass in the area of number 16 for the Vulcans, Craig Thompson.
Yeah, Thompson was open there right in the middle of the field, and right there Noah Mitchell may have just rushed that pass a bit. He had Thompson open across the middle. Thompson's actually who he threw his first collegiate touchdown pass to. Noah Mitchell there against Ohio Dominican threw that touchdown in the first quarter against Ohio Dominican earlier on in the season to Thompson. So now, second down and goal. Like we just mentioned, Danny, you have to turn 3 points into 6 here. You have to get in the end zone here on this red zone attempt.
Ball on the 11-yard line. Nelson Brown tries to push forward. A few Crimson Hawks show their talons and wrap him up after a gain of 2 on the play. Little pushing in back and forth, but haven't seen a flag come out, as both teams just trying to really establish their dominance in this game.
And this front four for IUP has just been dominant all game long. There you see 2 of them right there, 99 and 98, in on the tackle, and that is Mitchell and Tillman. Both of those players, huge guys. I mean, they're sitting over 300 pounds, over 6 feet tall, 6'5", 250, and 6'5", 310. So 2 of the biggest guys out there on the field making plays for IUP. Setting up a big third down and goal now. What can the freshman quarterback do here?
Ball on the 9-yard line. Mitchell looking back to throw, going left, over to Chad Livingston, into the end zone, gets 2 feet down, and a flag on the play, just about the 5-yard line, but Chad Livingston a little bit slow getting up. Training staff going over to him. I am Danny Beck, once again. Dylan Godet, excuse me, join on my right. The kick is away to the Crimson Hawks. They field it around the 5-yard line. Wide open space right in front of him. Crosses the 50-yard line, gets to the 40. One man to beat. That is Jalen Bell. He gets across the 10-yard line into the end zone. Special teams touchdown for the Crimson Hawks.
And there are no flags on the field, so IUP just like that, as he puts his finger up to his face mask and say, "Not so fast, Vulcans," as IUP just like that takes back the lead.
8 minutes and 34 seconds left in the third quarter of play. Noah Mitchell drops back to throw in the middle of the field. Has a wide open receiver. Big play. Noah Mitchell and his arm coming in big. Craig Thompson right across the middle of the field.
Craig Thompson with a little shimmy himself. It says, "No, Mitchell, get me the ball," as he's able to beat Mike Petropola across the middle. Mitchell finds Thompson, and Thompson says, "Give me that ball," and picks up a nice play. California's offense now starting to find that rhythm we talk about, and the freshmen stepping up here in this Coal Bowl.
Beats number 2, Juan Coleman, as now Nelson Brown has it on the outside, pushes it back in. Great awareness as play broke down on the outside, switches field and picks up some positive yards. About a gain of 5 on the play.
So now this offense starting to pick up those first downs like we've been mentioning so far. So there you're getting a first down rush of around 5 yards, makes second down and 5 a lot easier than a second down and 10 or more.
Noah Mitchell on his offense. 2 wide receivers spread out. Chad Livingston and Cam Tarrant out to the left. Tyson Hill, the lone receiver, to the right. 7 minutes and 30 seconds left. As now Mitchell gives it over to Stallings. Stallings drops the football, and it looks like they will say incomplete pass. Good eyes on that one, Dylan.
Yeah, it looked like Stallings may have been able to bring that ball in, but unable to do so. Tillman was out there in coverage on him. Take a look at this replay. It's this little play action, roll out to the right. And actually, Tillman was rushing the passer there as Mek Petropola jarred that ball loose. That looked like it may have been a fumble. Depends on how you define a quarterback move. A football move, excuse me, there when it comes to those catches. You know all about that if you watch any NFL football.
Yeah, don't even bring up the football move. I don't even know what considered a football move on that one. Dylan Stallings looking upfield. I don't know. Call that a football move.
Yeah, I was watching the coverage of the WVU game today, and they said they're playing football, so every move they make should be a football move.
Amen to that, as Nelson Brown makes a football move right into the end zone. High steps his way untouched for another California touchdown.
The transfer has made an immediate impact on this California Vulcans football team. Nelson Brown, run play right up the gut, taking this play right out of IUP's playbook. You've seen that run all game long by IUP. Nelson Brown now with his second touchdown of the night. So right now that is a game with 3 touchdowns. Game with 3 touchdowns, a game with 2 touchdowns. How about that, Danny Beck?
Now as quarterback dropping back, rolling out to his left, throws the ball deep. Williams goes deep. Nothing doing on that play. It led his receiver out of bounds. Good pressure there from California defensive line.
That's London Cloud again with another boom factory hit there on Lenny Williams as soon as he let go of that ball. As that's going to be a new coin term. We have the Dilly Dime and the boom factory as well there on the defense for London Cloud. And that might be able to move that anytime a big hit is made by this California defense. Just call them all little boom factory hits by this California defense. Now the crowd's starting to get into it as the cheerleaders starting to pump up this home-standing Vulcan crowd.
2nd and 10, ball on the 30-yard line. 5 minutes and 44 seconds left to go in the third quarter of play. Williams dropping back to throw out there in the flat. Yet again, another drop from the West Virginia Mountaineer grad. Another drop for IUP Crimson Hawks.
Yeah, it's Ricky Rogers, and that one's just as much blame to go there on Lenny Williams. Passed that ball short. It's one of those quick passing plays, and now you see Brendan Edwards starting to pump up this crowd. It's a blackout here for the Cole Bowl as the Student Activities Board giving away free T-shirts for the first 200 people in attendance here in this one. So you see those Vulcan Nation shirts. Big shout out to SAB for providing those. Actually, I was able to make my way down and pick one up myself.
Lucky enough to snag one of those. 5 seconds left on the play clock. Williams gets the ball. A design run right up the middle of the field. California tries to sniff it out. Eventually thrown down, and they're going to be short of that first down marker. But this situation, Dylan, would you go for it?
I don't know about going for it, but it looks like they may be doing that. We're going to take another look at this play and see the downfield blocking again by these receivers. Right there, a big block set on, I believe that was Jimmy Pearson, who made that block with number 24. That is Justice Evans, the running back there for IUP, and they are going for it. California now substituting. The play clock's now at 15 seconds, so let's see what this IUP team comes up with. They have the fullback in there, so they may be just doing like quarterback sneak here.
Big boy Jermaine Stevens subs in for California. Now Williams drops back. He's going to fake the give. Wide open Grant Smith brings in the ball. There's a flag on the field, but Grant Smith gets into the end zone. And this one, ineligible man downfield yet again, Dylan. Great vision up here in the crow's nest, you could call it, in the press box.
It is going to be a big penalty against IUP. Ineligible man downfield on that 4th down. See if we can see it on replay. The whole line was moving forward. That's just play action. Let's see if we see any linemen down right there. Looked like the right tackle was well downfield.
Unsure. I believe that is a loss of downs on 4th down. It is a loss of downs. Oh, excuse me. Now it's actually going to be 4th down. Mek Petropola coming out. I thought he was going to be out there for a defensive back, but nonetheless, they will line up for a field goal attempt.
The crowd getting loud here. Big field goal attempt here in the Cole Bowl.
Lining up the kick. Petropola gets the hold. Kick is up. And it is good. So knotting up this one at 24. Things are getting a little interesting right here from Adamson Stadium. Stick around for the 10th annual Coal Bowl right here on CUTV.
He is now, and this is setting up a big-time drive. California's going to have to go. Start this drive, at the 27-yard line, their own 27-yard line. So see what Noah Mitchell can do here. He's played in a fantastic game, fantastic second half. He's really come here in the second half and started establishing that rhythm that we mentioned and started to get confident in himself, confident in his receivers as well. So Noah Mitchell playing the lights out here for a freshman.
Mitchell in the shotgun set. Has Grissom. Now Grissom works upfield, gets away from one man, that was Petropola, then gets out just shy of the 30-yard line.
And now with him out there and Nick Grissom for California, he's played in a fair share of Coal Bowls. So I'm sure he likes to get involved here in this rivalry here tonight. Again, 24-24, all knotted up here. Couldn't ask for much better football here on this Saturday night in the PSAC West.
Especially out of the Coal Bowl. Now Mitchell looking downfield, tries to find Cam Tarrant. Had Livingston on that near sideline, but almost intercepted by Jan Coleman.
Big third down setting up now, and Mitchell again, they don't really advise rolling out to your left and throwing back across your body because you lead passes, and that's exactly what he did there. Led Tarrant just a bit, and Jan Coleman almost was able to come up with a big interception for the Crimson Hawks.
So now 4 minutes and 1 second left before the fourth quarter begins. Score is knotted up at 24.
See if he goes back to Tyson Hill here. Tyson Hill, top receiver atop the screen.
Showing some pressure on the outside. California throws the ball, and Tyson Hill thrown all over him. Late flags coming in, but guys was draped all over him was Anthony Davis.
Yeah, that was a late call there, but we all thought up here in the booth, the fans alike, thought that should be a call, and the back official able to make the call. And if it stands, that's going to be pass interference against IUP. So another big penalty against the Crimson Hawks. 2 straight big plays where they've committed a penalty. And that was the opposite, really, in the first half and for California.
Very true it is. And Anthony Davis called on the pass interference. Got to be smarter than that if you're the Crimson Hawks.
Look at this on the replay there. Yeah, he's just kind of a horse collar look in sorts there, kind of clotheslined him, That's what I was calling for. Clotheslined him there above the head and neck area. And I think you have to call that play because that really hurt Tyson Hill's ability to go back and make that catch. And he's a guy that's really stepped up here in this game and made a lot of big plays for his Vulcans.
3:57 left in the third quarter. Mitchell fakes a give to Jalen Bell. Rolling out to the right side. Chad Livingston tried to pick up the football before he was thrown out of bounds, but good defense there from the Crimson Hawks.
And Mitchell just couldn't get enough there on that one as Shaq Jones was in coverage on Chad Livingston there.
Second and 10.
Sets up a second down and 10 here for California.
Ball on the 37-yard line. 3:51 left in the third quarter play. Taking this play clock down to under 10 seconds. Trips out to the left. Tyson Hill, the lone receiver at the top.
Yeah, so
fakes the give. Then Tyson Hill, intended receiver, but a good pass breakup from Anthony Davis right at the line of scrimmage. Jumped the route, smart play from the defensive back as Mitchell just threw it right over in his direction.
And that could have been a pick six easy there. That's that RPO, run pass option. Anthony Davis there almost gets the pick six. As IUP now, their crowd's starting to get into it. Big third down and 10 here for the freshman quarterback. Time starting to tick away. 3:47 left here in this third quarter. What can the freshman quarterback do here on third down?
Clock is stopped and trips out to the left yet again. Little safety help on the near sideline. Mitchell looks left, stepping up in the pocket. Going to throw it deep over to Cam Tarrant. Cam Tarrant adjusts to the football, stays on his feet, gets away from his Mike Petropola, and gets into the end zone. Touchdown, California.
They're going to say he was down, and I'm not quite sure about that. as let's take a look here. As Cam Tarrant looked like he had a touchdown, as California is now going to rush back, but I'm telling you, he did not look like he was down here. See, as Mitchell throws it there, Tarrant, that knee is close. They had a better look than we did. But boy, was that close. Cam Tarrant making a big play.
Definitely a big play, as now with 3 minutes and 19 seconds left, Nelson Brown pushes forward, gets to the 25-yard line.
And now Damon Lloyd makes a big stop there, but nonetheless, touchdown or not, it's still a big play, and California's offense is starting to roll. Mitchell's not afraid to take those shots. Right there on that play, he just let it up there for his receiver and say, go make a play, and Tarrant was able to do just that.
So now Mitchell making some adjustments at the line of scrimmage. Now Nelson Brown gets it right up the middle, gets across the 20-yard line, and picks up a first down on the play to move those chains for the Vulcans.
And Nelson Brown now close to 70 yards rushing, 65 yards, averaging 4.5 yards per carry now. So that's picked up from 3 at halftime. He's able to charge forward, able to get a first down. Again, he has 2 touchdowns.
Now with 2 minutes and 20 seconds left, and ticking. Still in that shotgun set. 2 wide receivers spread out to the left. Mitchell goes over to Chad Livingston and gets knocked down right at the 14-yard line, so picks up positive yards. Good stop there from J.R. Stevens.
J.R. Stevens able to make a nice stop there, but Mitchell, again, he's coming into himself here in this game as Livingston's able to make a big play. And big catch. He took a big shot there from Stevens as well.
1 minute and 40 seconds in ticking. 2nd and 6, ball on the 14-yard line. Looking over the sidelines yet again. Two wide receivers spread to either side for the Vulcans. Gets the give over to Nelson Brown, staying on his feet, pushing forward, gets across the 5, trying to get into the end zone, and we'll see what the call is, and it's into the end zone. Marshawn Lynch, beast mode.
That was entirely beast mode there. Nelson Brown, 3 straight games with 3 touchdowns. The beast has awakened here for the Vulcans. Nelson Brown breaks a couple tackles, says, get off me, Mike Petropola. Go back to the quarterback position, and Nelson Brown gets into the end zone. What a run there by Nelson Brown.
The WCAO call, the first time this season I'm on CUTV, so Lenny Williams, first time this drive, finding his wide receiver Wells on the outside, gets positive yards in the passing game.
Yeah, he does there. Nice first down pass there by Walls. And Walls, 134 as a receiver. You don't usually see that too often. It looks like a running back number, but he's out there nonetheless making plays. Almost got that ball stripped away there by California's defensive back and Jamal Martin Jr.
And Jamal Martin Jr. is lined up against Ricky Rogers on the outside. No coverage. No safety coverage to help him, but they're going to give the ball off yet again to Justice Evans. Evans going to be thrown down right there from London Cloud, yet again making a big play.
Yeah, but that's a first down there for IUP. Moving the chains now inside California's 35-yard line. London Cloud again making another big play. Take another look at this run here by Evans. London Cloud right in his face, avoids a stiff arm, able to pick up a nice run.
Now with Lenny Williams looking over to the sideline yet again. California's time of possession is going to be big here. If they can stop IUP, run that clock down, and get a late score. Williams looking to throw, feeling the pressure from the right, runs left, and then forced out by, yet again, high school teammate and Brendan Blair.
Yeah, but that's still, you're giving up too much there on first down to the quarterback running out of the pocket. The dime pass play again. Lenny Williams doesn't find anything downfield. Looked like close to a holding call. Could have been called there against IUP's Gerald Brown was trying to elude the rush, elude the block, excuse me. And looked like he may have been held, but nonetheless, be a second down and 6 here.
From the 31-yard line, 7 minutes and 40 seconds left to go in this contest. Williams staying with that run game. Justice Evans evades the man on the ground, reverses field, and picks up more positive yards. It looks like he's about a yard short of the first down marker.
So here's a big third down. Definitely 4-down territory here if you're IUP, as they're going to quickly run back up to the line of scrimmage.
Big man up front. Same play, same design. Brendan Blair to make the hit, but a little bit late as he picks up the first down. Yet again, moving those chains, eating away at the clock, Dylan.
Yeah, Brendan Blair and London Cloud now tied at 10 tackles apiece as the crowd's starting to get in to this one. Almost in the red zone is IUP. Defense going to have to pin their ears back and get a stop here.
Right at 7 minutes left. Williams again slowing this one down as Miles Williamson spread out right. Ricky Rogers to the left. Same design yet again. California this time, though, almost sniffed it out. Ball is out, but already on the ground was Justice Evans.
Yeah, and nice second effort there by Justice Evans. As Evans now over 70 yards rushing. 3 rushers over 70 yards here for IUP. And there you see him, ball come out there late. But again, nice second effort there by Evans. Looked like he stopped a 2-yard gain, but he's able to pick up 4 on that one and go over 70 yards with 73 yards rushing for Justice Evans.
Redshirt senior Chris Temple subs back in for the IUP Crimson Hawk offense.
Bullock with 90 yards rushing, Williams with 78, and Evans with 73. That's 238 yards total for IUP rushing the football.
The duo of Temple and Williams, same duo that we've seen most of their careers, as Grant Smith comes up with the football.
Nice catch.
Simultaneous possession goes to the receiver on that one as a California defensive back try to grab the football away from Smith.
Yeah, Grant Smith there with nice strong hands, and Aaron Brown was right in there. Looked like he was going to be close to getting an interception, but nice strong hands there by Grant Smith to hang on to the football.
Freshman in there from Central Dauphin, my alma mater. Chris Temple gets the football this time, puts his head down right into the Vulcans' trap.
Chris Temple.
California's been unable to really stop IUP in the red zone, especially down here inside the 10-yard line. They've really struggled. IUP has been easily able to score on their drive so far in this game.
Temple walked right into the arms of Malik Akins and Lamont McFadder, linebacker, coming in to make the big play.
McFadder really hasn't, Danny, established himself really in this game, making any plays here in this one.
It's really been the Brendan Blair show, as now an interception just like that. Lamont McFadder coming up with the interception, has open space in front of him. Adamson Stadium is his when it comes to turnovers. Marches right down the field, puts up the number 1 side into the end zone.
How many times have we done that, Danny? How many times have we done that? Right on cue, McFadder. Lamont McFadder, 100-yard interception return right when California needed it most. Coach Dunn is happy here. Look at him. What a play, able to snag that ball and take it back 100 yards. That is 2 straight games, and a fumble recovery for a touchdown, and now an interception return for a touchdown. Lamont McFadder, I'm sorry I said you didn't make a play. Right there, buddy. You're making a play. You made the play of the game for California.
No doubt about it. Looked like IUP was going to march right down, score again. Lamont McFadder said, and gets into the end zone. Another turnover for a touchdown for Lamont McFadder. Number 7 puts 6 on the board for the Vulcans. Now with actually going for 2, Dylan, so trying to come back in. Now they're going to reset the play clock and get this one started. And Noah Mitchell and Nelson Brown still out there on the field. We're looking for, the traditional PAT, but just trying to extend their lead back to 14. 36-24 the score. Nelson Brown puts his head down, and it doesn't look like California will get it here. Stalemate right around the 3-yard line. So either way, California
step up in big-time games, and Lamont McFadder stepped up in the biggest moment of this game. IUP driving down to take the lead, and he goes and makes that 103-yard interception return for a touchdown.
Little squib kick there from California. And that was returned by number 83, Quashaw Carter.
Danny, much better pronouncing that name than I am. As the Vulcan starts hammering away now as California's team, IUP, the most points they've given up all year, I believe 21. And they come out in this game, California putting 36 big ones up there for the Vulcans. And that's offense and defense all the way. California's able to score 20 points in the third quarter, 6 points here in this fourth quarter. And boy, this team's starting to come alive here midway through this season.
This team and this crowd as well. Third game here at home, second game at home for California this season. And Lenny Williams Jr. right over the middle of the field into the awaiting arms of his receiver, number 4, Dom McNeil. Big play situation from a big play guy. Lenny Williams right over the middle of the field.
Yeah, Dom McNeil has just been the target for Lenny Williams so far this season. Dropped a couple balls earlier, but there he's able to beat Aaron Brown across the middle. And a big play. Now IUP right back saying, not so fast, guys. We're going to make one last attempt to get back in this ball game.
California only up by 12, so they're still in this contest. Lenny Williams dropping back to throw, looking left and decides to run left. There's a flag on the play. Williams is tripped up on his own, but like we mentioned, this one might be coming back. There's a flag.
It looked like Dylan Boytos out of West Mifflin High School was coming in for the pass rush, and I believe he got held there on that play.
63 offense. 10 yards.
It is a hold on number 63, Joe Peterson.
Should have a good look here at this hold as Lenny Williams setting back in the pocket. Goes for a rush, and right there, before he got out of the pocket, you saw that hold against Boytos. And if you're familiar with California in the past, that's been Luke Rapchek's number there, 31, at the linebacker position. But Boytos stepping in, making a big play there to draw that holding call.
Williams drops back to throw. Some pressure on the outside, steps up right now. Aikens forcing him. And another adjustment from the wide receiver. No flags in. Through in the area of 3 Vulcans in the secondary.
There comes at the very end of the play. They're going to get Garnett face guarding. That was a bit of a late call again, but they called California in a late call earlier. Chad Garnett, I think they're going to call him there for face guarding, and they're going to give him a pass interference call.
See what the call is in here. Missed that one, so another Hawkeye vision from Dylan Godet. Pass interference on Garnett, so can't do that. You hear the boos raining out from the crowd here at Adamson Stadium, but rightfully so. You can see right there, didn't look back to the football, didn't adjust his feet or his vision, so we're going to call that 10 times out of 10.
Yeah, and that's going to be 9 penalties now for 95 yards. IUP has 10 penalties for 91 yards.
So now Williams sidearm throw right over to his receiver, number 34, DeWine Walls. California was right there to gobble him up.
Yeah, Daryl Jackson was right there and able to make that big play was Jackson. The clock now starting to become a factor in this one. IUP's wanting to score here quickly, down by 12 points. You need 2 more scores if you're the Crimson Hawks.
Went backwards on that one for the Crimson Hawks. Now Williams drops back to throw yet again, looking left, goes left. A big pickup and thrown down. We're talking about the boom from London Cloud. What a hit from Daryl Jackson.
Daryl Jackson says, yes, sir. Comes in with a big tackle. The redshirt freshman out of Youngstown, Ohio, playing a little wrestling move. A little Tristan UTV's own Tristan there making a play kind of like him. A little wrestling move there.
Keep it up in the weight room for Daryl Jackson.
Yeah, for sure. You don't see corners making plays like that too often.
Williams now stepping up, going right. Chased out by Brendan Blair yet again. Forced to throw off his back foot. Good defense there from California. Bat that one down to the ground. Brings up a 4th down. Big play here for IUP and the Crimson Hawks on offense.
Yeah, Aaron Brown right here as Brendan Blair spying. That's probably the move of the game. Spying Lenny Williams with Brendan Blair here in the second half. But there, Aaron Brown makes a big play. 4th down. The crowd is getting on their feet and loud. The California offensive sideline that's on the sideline right now is up, cheering this crowd up. Look at that defense sign right there from the band. You love to see this. This crowd is excited. They're juiced right now.
And forced to take a timeout was IUP. Got to think that's a win for the crowd, getting in the head of the IUP Crimson Hawks. But Dylan, we mentioned at the first score in the second half that this was going to be an instant classic. California, big play on defense from Lamont McFadder, ignited the crowd yet again. But really, who would you give the player of the game to right now at this point, 2 minutes and 39 seconds left?
For IUP?
For California.
Yeah, for IUP. I mean, for California, I'm not quite sure. That's a tough call to make there, Danny, as a coach. But CUTV Sports 1 our YouTube page, you might be watching this live. And Danny, thank you to YouTube for allowing us to have a bajillion gigabytes of memory, because we have had a fumble recovery for a touchdown last week. I mean, it's just been McFadder and London Cloud. That's just the two guys in this defense that stepped up in huge ways this season.
Continuing his performance from last year, as well as now we're going to see Noah Mitchell under center, push forward. This is a quarterback draw, and it looks like he will pick up the first down.
Be right at it.
Looks like they're going to measure this.
They're going to say first down. So California, a couple more plays away from coming up with a huge upset.
Huge upset indeed. Number 2 team in the country.
Maybe one of the biggest wins ever, Danny. I'm not quite sure the last time they were able to defeat a number 2 team ranked in the country here. Never have defeated a top 2 ranked team in the country. So this may be the biggest win, one of the biggest wins in California history. So quite the performance.
It was also a very fun one here tonight. We were talking about that. One of my favorite games to announce, the Coal Bowl. Lucky enough to do it here on a great platform at CUTV. Thanks, brought to us by California University. So it's always good to get some experience and, you know, just call this game for you at home. And another big run. Just kind of drawing that one out, but Nelson Brown stay on his feet out to the 40-yard line. Now to the 30. Going to stay in bounds.
California coaching staff again. Coaching staff right next to us. They're excited. Sorry about that, but Nelson Brown says, "Give me that ball one more time, and let's deal this thing out." As he gets a huge rush there for Nelson Brown. And what do you know? The only coach left in the coach's box, Coach Salisbury himself. I mean, he plays to the last minute here. But Nelson Brown, have yourself a game. It's going to put him well over 100 yards there for Mr. Nelson Brown. And the Cal U flag is being waved around there on the sideline there by Brendan Edwards.
This is a great performance from the Vulcans. You can hear the coaching staff is just as animated as those players on the field. Coach Davia running out there is the man excited out there on the field. And
we're about to have a little water dump here.
We're going to see
Dunn,
that
yeah, he's
for Coach Dunn.
Close. He get his headset off.
They're saying wait until you have to take the timeout.
Yeah, their offense is out there ready to take a kneel, but they're about to give Coach Gary Dunn one of the best feelings in sports, and that's going to be a Gatorade dump.
And that's the
And see, he's running away. He's actually running over. And they're going to get him with the Gatorade until he gets the hug. So how about that? The biggest upset in California history, knocking down the number 2 team in the country. Let's go, Cal U.
Great win for California. Here at Adamson Stadium, the Coal Bowl, a great win for the Vulcans. And
Danny Beck's actually lost his bracelet thanks to Coach Salisbury coming in and give us big high fives, and his bracelet was destroyed. But hey, that's the price you pay for one of the biggest upsets in Vulcan football history.
no doubt about it. Great win all around for California, taking down the number 2 team in the country here at home, Adamson Stadium. Dylan, any last words here on the broadcast?
Just what a performance. Right there, that's the man himself, Coach Gary Dunn. Thank you for all you've done for California athletics. You love us here at CUTV. You see him embracing his coaching staff there, Coach Wilson there. Thank you to Coach Dunn. Thank you to the whole staff. Thank you to everybody up here at CUTV. What a game, Danny. and it's a great night to be a Vulcan.
And you're talking like this is the end of the season. This is only the beginning.
Yep, this is only the beginning.
California team taking down the number 2 team in the nation. We heard that fight song at halftime. I was saying I'd love to hear that at the end of this game, and that's exactly what we're going to hear at the end of this contest. California victorious against IUP in the 10th annual Coal Bowl. What a win for the Vulcans.
Yeah, and what a win is right. The cheerleaders out there, as we're taking a look at some more of these plays of the game. IUP, what can you say? They won the special teams battle for sure here tonight. Kick returns for touchdowns, blocked an extra point. But this defense here for California stepped up in a big way. Nelson Brown as well. Nelson Brown's going to finish tonight, as you're going to see his touchdown right there on the screen. Finished with 23 carries, 143 yards, 3 touchdowns. Noah Mitchell, a quarterback rating of 143. And one of the most important stats here is Danny Beck no longer has a bracelet. But that's the price you pay for winning the Coal Bowl.
Go for a high five with the coach after a big game, and that's what you're going to get. But California victorious against IUP. You can see those highlights. I'm sure you can watch them back. Coach's show on Tuesdays. Stay tuned for that. It's going to be a very happy Gary Dunn and coaching staff. But that's all we have here from Adamson Stadium. Your final score, 36-24. Thank you to everybody on our crew. For Dylan Godet, I'm Danny Beck. Stay tuned for some more Vulcan football right here on CUTV.
The more I think about it, anytime you watch one of these football documentaries on the NFL Network or anything like that about a special team and what they've done and all sorts of things, they talk about one specific play that really shaped a season. If I had to pick the one that shaped that season, it had to be that Lamont McFadder play, because just watching everybody get out in front of him as he was pushing his way back, of course, he's got a lot of speed to begin with, so he cruised his way towards the end zone. But either way, watching everybody get out in front of him, a lot of team play there. And it was just exciting to see a rally, everyone come together for the common good and not be so individual, go towards a common goal. Goodness, I can't talk.
Presentation of the Coal Bowl trophy here.
And the player of the game, they're going to say Lamont McFadder with that 100-yard touchdown on defense, gets the player of the game. And he was kind of over there embracing his family, I believe. So now he comes in. You can see him on the screen traveling up through. But this trophy, it means more to California than just a win. Obviously, they get the Coal Bowl trophy. And the Pale Trophy comes back, they said, back home to the Vulcans. You can see both brothers right there representing. Created that scholarship in 2009 for both IUP and California. This one comes back into California's arms. And Gary Dunn, this is his second win in the Coal Bowl.
Yep.
This is his 3rd season with
California.
California.
Able to get the win his first year. We are on the call for that one. A eerily similar night to tonight.
This moves Gary Dunn's record to 23 and 6 in his 3rd year against IUP. Moves to 2-1. So positive record for California. This is a great win at home. You love to see this. Everybody celebrating as a team.